Hey guys, I'm Sejan del Valle, and today's video we're going to be talking about my health. In March of 2020, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That's MS for short. Multiple sclerosis is a disease in which the immune system eats away the protective covering of nerve. So that can result in damaging the nerve, disrupting communication between the brain and the body. The symptoms can be many things. You can lose your vision, numbness, tingling sensation, lose balance. It can be a lot of things. It's very hard to specifically go in one. I've been having this situation since I was 15 years old in 2013. The first time it happened, the right side of my body went completely numb. It was a bit tingling, but I couldn't feel, if someone was poking me, I wouldn't be feeling that. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and the doctors couldn't really figure out what was happening at first. They gave me steroids in order for the numbness to go away. It helped a lot, but it did make me gain a lot of weight. They also took fluids from my spinal cord, and basically they were also taking MRI scans to see if I have any inflammation in my brain or in my spine, and they were able to find some, and they were trying so hard to avoid for it to be multiple sclerosis. So they were just trying to make me do a lot of MRIs throughout the year. I wasn't treated for anything at that moment, so I had a second inflammation in my brain in 2016, and in that time they treated me a little bit different. They didn't give me steroids like the first time. So on the second time, they decided to wrap something around my legs to make my blood circulate all throughout my body, and basically that worked. So once that worked, they just started to assume that I had lupus, and now they were like, oh my god, what is it? Is it MS or lupus? Because apparently MS and lupus do have some similar symptoms. So they were at the time thinking that I had both, but I came negative with lupus. So my neurologist doctor decided to put me in Tecfidera to help reduce the numbers of inflammations that I can get. But Tecfidera was just the worst thing that can happen in my body, just because it was just giving me a very terrible reaction to the point where it made me uncomfortable. My skin was red, it was just burning from the inside. It was a very uncomfortable feeling. But I ended up stopped taking it because the company and my doctor ended up having some complications communicating wise, because the company kept calling me to tell my doctor to sign the paperwork so they can still continue giving me Tecfidera. But when I tried to contact the doctor, he basically yelled at me for not taking the medication, and I'm just like, I didn't stop taking the medication because I wanted to. I stopped taking the medication because I ran out. I've been waiting for the company to send me the medication, but they never did, because apparently they're missing your signature. But he just yelled at me, and I felt very uncomfortable with that. So when in 2019 came along, I started to experience another flare-up. So I decided that I never want to go back to the first hospital that I went to. So I decided to research the best hospital there is in Chicago, and Northwestern happened to be the best one. So I ended up going to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and the sad thing about my experience there was that I had to literally repeat everything that I did the first time um to this hospital, just because the other hospital did not want to cooperate with my medical history, so I had to redo that. But other than that, Northwestern Memorial Hospital was literally the best decision I could have ever made, because I felt like I was treated properly immediately. They knew exactly what it was, but obviously they were the same like the other doctors. They didn't want it to be multiple sclerosis. They wanted to figure out if it was other than multiple sclerosis, and if it was lupus, because I did mention that. And basically they only wanted me to be treated for one thing. So they were making me do MRIs, blood work, and basically try to figure out if I only have multiple sclerosis or lupus, because they didn't want to treat me for both of the things, which I appreciate more compared to the other hospital where they wanted to treat me for both. And they ended up giving me steroids because that seemed that it was working for my body and in the doctor's eyes. But again, I was just gaining a lot of weight. And I ended up getting another flare-up in March of 2020. So in this situation, it was just a tad bit different. The other 3 times, it was always the right side of my body just going numb. And in this time, I happened to have lost like sensation of both of my legs. It was the most uncomfortable feeling ever, just because I didn't even know like if I was going to be able to walk again, because on my first time I had to learn how to walk again, and that was very stressful, because like I felt like I was a baby having to learn how to like walk up the stairs or going down the stairs, or like it was just unpleasant. And this time having to be both legs was a new experience for me that I really didn't want to have felt. I was walking slowly. I had to be hold. It was like a leg sleeping but never waking up, and that was just very uncomfortable. But again, they gave me steroids, and it helped me a lot too. And then around May, around May, I ended up getting another inflammation, but this time only the right eye, my vision went away. Like it was from like half down was gone. I was able to see everything from like above me, but other than that, it was completely gray. I wasn't able to see anything below me, and I freaked out, because sometimes with this disease you don't get that vision back, or not normal. But me not having glasses was kind of difficult to know whether or not I was having my vision back, because like everything's blurry without my glasses. So not knowing if I was gonna have my vision back, or my vision came back but it's more blurry, it was hard to say. My vision came back literally like 4 months later. That was really scary. And during those 4 months, I had another inflammation on my right leg. This time was only my right leg. I wasn't able to feel the coldness. Like I was currently working and I was sitting on the floor, and I couldn't feel the coldness of the floor. It just felt uncomfortable, just because it wasn't tingly, like some of the other times, but it was really hot. Like it was really, really heated. And it felt like it was burning from the inside, and I couldn't get it to control. So I ended up having to go to the ER, and basically because of that situation that happened in July, they decided that they were going to get me into treatment a little bit faster. And I'm really glad that they made that decision, because honestly, I was so scared at this point, because I got used to of every 3 years. Now it was happening like every 4 months. And that was so scary for me. I couldn't wrap around my head having these flare-ups, especially during the pandemic. I was so terrified to go to the emergency room. And basically on August 21st, I finally started my treatment. And the treatment is basically a 6-hour long treatment, but because it was my first time, it was cut into half. And so the second treatment was on September 4th. And even though it was just the first treatment, I did feel a little bit better. I did feel a difference. I did get really cold. Like I needed blankets and, you know, heating pads, and I had to turn the heater on the chair because of how cold I was. Like I could not control it. And it wasn't even like super cold in the room. It was nice. I was sweating like crazy. I was super uncomfortable. But honestly, I'm hoping that this treatment will help me in the long run to, you know, prevent more of these flare-ups. The one thing for sure that I need to work on is to lose weight, because I read as well that losing weight helps a lot. And you know, try to eat healthier, lose weight, exercise, because they can give me as much steroids as they want for it to calm down the numbness, but that's not going to help me in the long run if I don't take care of myself. So that's one of the other things that I have to do from now on. And I want to say thank you guys for watching my video, hearing me out. This has been a long overdue type of, you know, health problem, and I'm hoping that later on, you know, hopefully there's a cure later on in the future for everyone, not just for me, but for everyone who has multiple sclerosis. I will leave a link down below in the description box for you to read more about multiple sclerosis, because I just gave you a brief definition and some of the symptoms, but there's more than that. And I just gave you a little bit backstory about my experience with them, and I just hope you guys can like understand more about it, and I'll leave that link down below. And there is a donation box if you guys want to donate as well. Honestly guys, I didn't know that so many people had multiple sclerosis after I had to make more research about it. And you know, some people are able to live a normal healthy life, and then there's some people that just need a little bit of help, and that's totally normal. But if you guys can help in any way possible, donate. You know, it helps a lot. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope I see you guys next time. Bye.